Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, while Bitcoin is still playing out the bullish divergence, we're seeing a new price pattern form, setting up a new price target, which I'll talk about in just a moment. And we definitely need to pay attention to this while the price of Solana is continuing to play out this bullish divergence, and the price of XRP is now retesting this important area of support. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the 4-day Bitcoin price chart, and right now the super trend indicator is still sitting in the red on this chart right here, so nothing's changed on this chart over the last one day. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we're still seeing the histogram within the weekly Bitcoin MACD approach the 0 point, basically declining in the bearish momentum, but we still have some way to go before we eventually see another bullish crossover. So we're not necessarily flipping massively bullish again straight away, at least based on this signal right here, but potentially it's already telling us that the worst is behind us. And so once again, not a lot has changed on this chart over the last 1 to 2 days. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Bitcoin chart, obviously we still have a significant bearish divergence to pay attention to, which at least for now is still technically active, as I've been talking about every day for months now on the channel since pretty much near the beginning of this year. And so once again, this is telling us we should not necessarily expect significant bullish momentum really anytime soon. So once again, not a lot has changed on these larger time frames over the last one day. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, we are still finding a lot of resistance around this Fibonacci level of resistance, sitting at close to 88,000. And so when it comes to horizontal resistance to pay attention to, 88k is definitely the level to pay attention to, at least for now. And as for support, we have a lot of support at close to 83,000 approximately. And if we could finally break out above 88,000, in that situation, we have a lot of resistance at around 91.5 to 92k, and more resistance at around 96,000 based on these retracement levels here. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, of course, we have more resistance at that 96k level based on a lot of traded volume in the volume profile indicator. And we also have a small spike in volume in the volume profile indicator around 86 to 88,000, and also previous resistance in that area. So once again, 88k, at least for now in the short term, that is the level of resistance to pay attention to before we can start targeting some of these other levels of resistance. And if we were to see a major rejection from this point and actually break below around 83,000 give or take, then in that situation we have significant support in between around 70,000 to 74,000 as well. And if we're taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, obviously for now we still have this bullish divergence actively playing out, as I've been saying every day since all the way back down here, telling us we're likely going to see just a slight bullish relief in the short term, or at the very least a bit of choppy sideways price action. So basically a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action. And so obviously, as we could see over the last 1 to 2 weeks, give or take, this has been perfectly playing out as I've been talking about, and I do continue to expect this to at least continue to play out for a little longer here in the short term, considering at least for now it is still currently active. We've not yet confirmed any invalidation signal here in this bullish divergence to actually invalidate the bullish divergence. And while the Bitcoin bullish divergence is continuing to play out on the daily time frame, once again, as I've been saying recently, this is forming an ascending parallel channel here on the 4-hour Bitcoin price chart with higher lows and higher highs. So technically speaking, at least in the shorter term, this is currently a bullish trend. And if we're paying attention to the support and resistance based on this ascending parallel channel, we have the support line sitting at just above 84,000, getting close to 84,500 now. And we have the center line acting as a bit of support at roughly around 86 to 87,000, close to 87,000 now. And the ascending line of resistance up here sitting at close to 90,000. And if we're zooming back out to the daily time frame, the price of Bitcoin is currently forming this reversal pattern that we need to pay attention to. But just before talking about this price pattern and the technical price target for this pattern, first, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, personally, I'm taking a lot of my trades over on BTNext, so I'll make sure to leave a link to BTNext below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim some massive trading bonuses simply just by using that link and trading crypto. And so for example, using the link below this video to BTNex, you can get a brand new iPhone 16, a MacBook Pro, a holiday to Dubai, a Rolex, or even up to 23,000 USDT onto your BTNex account as a bonus, which you can actually withdraw, by the way. These are basically massive trading bonuses here that you can only claim using that link. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And in case you're wondering, BTNex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want BTNex as an exchange, there's also 2bit as another option out there, another exchange that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video, where you can also claim some massive trading bonuses over there. And 2bit is indeed a no KYC exchange as well. But with that being said, taking a quick look at this daily Bitcoin price chart. And as I was saying, the price of Bitcoin is currently forming a new price pattern, which is indeed a bump and run reversal pattern. This is a reversal pattern, obviously, as the name suggests. And all we need to see in order to actually confirm the price pattern and confirm the price target for the pattern is simply confirm a breakout above this line of resistance. And so a bump and run reversal pattern is a 3-stage reversal pattern. In this case, obviously, it'll be a bullish reversal going from bearish to bullish if we're breaking out above resistance once again. And the first stage to this pattern is the lead-in phase, which is right here. The second stage is the bump phase, which is right here. And the third stage to complete the price pattern is the run phase. And so as of recording this video, we've already successfully formed the first 2 stages of this bump and run reversal pattern. All we need to see is once again a confirmed breakout above this line of resistance in order to initiate the run phase towards the price target. And first of all, this line of resistance that we need to break out above is sitting at just above 88,000. So ideally breaking out above around 88,500 with at least a daily candle close confirming above that level to actually confirm the breakout. And as always, if we confirm the breakout and then if we see a confirmed breakback below that line right there, below the point of the breakout, in that situation, that would invalidate the breakout and invalidate the pattern altogether. And so if we simply confirm the breakout above this line of resistance to start the run phase for the bump and run reversal pattern, that would set up the bullish price target for this reversal pattern, which sits at the beginning of the lead-in phase, the top of the lead-in phase, which is simply this high up here, pretty much almost the all-time high, sitting at around 106,500. So around 106 to 107,000. And so just for example, if we measure out that move from, let's just say, just above the point of the breakout here to that price target, we're talking about roughly a 20% move towards the upside in the price of Bitcoin. And that's with no leverage. So for example, a 10x leverage long position would be a 200% profit in that example. But I want to make this extra clear. At least for now, we have not yet confirmed the breakout above this line of resistance, which means that possible price target is not active. It is not in play, at least for now. And as always, even if we confirm this breakout, we cannot ignore all of the other Bitcoin price charts that I've talked about in this video and recent videos here on the channel. So even if we confirm the breakout above around 88,000, give or take, obviously we cannot ignore these other points of resistance where the price could potentially still struggle at. And so using all of this information, an example of a potential trading strategy, not financial advice, would be, let's just say, once we confirm a breakout above this resistance, if that actually happens, we could possibly enter a long position to trade this move towards the upside. And then as the price of Bitcoin approaches major points of resistance, we can potentially take a small amount of profits along the way out of that long position. And then as always, with any breakout trade like this, just for example, I usually like to move my stop loss at least up towards break even, and ideally moving my stop loss further into profits as the trade moves further into profits, so that in the worst case scenario, if we just come crumbling back down, ultimately they'll just hit the stop loss in profits and close the trade automatically in profits. But obviously, if we never confirm the breakout here above this line, then that trading strategy, that trading plan never even begins to start with. And so that's just an example of a potential trading strategy that could be coming up very soon if we first confirm the breakout above this line right here, ideally above around 88 to 88,500 with confirmation. So a candle close above that level. And once again, if you want to take those sort of trades, check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive massive bonuses using those links. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, for now, we still have a lot of liquidity in the lower 70K area, around 71 to 74,000, and also a lot of liquidity at almost exactly 100,000 and just above 100K. And we have a small amount of short-term liquidity at around 89 to 90,000. And so just keep that in mind as well. On those areas on the price chart, basically that's where a bunch of positions would get liquidated. If of course we break to the downside below an area of liquidity, that would liquidate long positions, or if we break out above an area of liquidity, that would wipe out a bunch of short positions. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin and crypto funding rates, at least for now, the Bitcoin funding rates are slightly more bullish than bearish because they are slightly in the negative direction compared to above the neutral rate, because the neutral rate, in case you're wondering, is 0.01%. But with that being said, they're relatively close to neutral at the moment. Same with the Ethereum funding rates, very close to neutral, but some of these Solana and XRP funding rates are still sitting just below neutral, as we can see. So overall, they're looking slightly more bullish than bearish, basically telling us that there's basically a slight higher chance of a short squeeze happening than a long squeeze happening, at least in the short term here. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the price of Ethereum on the weekly time frame, honestly, despite seeing short-term bounces here, the longer-term situation for Ethereum is still not looking good at all. I've been saying that ever since we broke below this multi-year line of support. That's basically a bear market signal. But if we're taking a look at the 3-day time frame, we are still holding above this Fibonacci level of support, sitting at around 1870 to 1880. So in that high 1.8K area, we still have a lot of support around there. And as for resistance, we have a lot of resistance in between around 2.1K to 2.2K. And at least in the short term, obviously the price structure and the trend is still currently bearish, despite seeing short-term bounces along the way towards the downside. And I would only start to basically flip a little bit more bullish again if we see a confirmed breakout at least above around 2.2K with confirmation, and ideally holding that as support. Only if we start to see that signal, I'll start to finally flip a little bit more bullish again, at least in the short term. But until then, obviously the larger price structure, the trend is simply bearish for Ethereum. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the weekly time frame, right now the price of Solana is continuing to bounce and hold above this important area of support, sitting in between around $120 to $130. So honestly, over the last one day, not a lot has changed on this Solana price chart. And if we're taking a look at this daily time frame, right now the price of Solana is continuing to play out the bullish divergence exactly as expected. Because once again, in case you're new to all of this, I've been saying over the last 1 to 2 weeks, since all the way back down here, that we're most likely going to see a bit of bullish price action, basically a slight bullish relief, or at the very least some choppy sideways price action. So in other words, a relief or a break from all of the bearish price action here, most likely for a couple of weeks. And obviously over the last 1 to 2 weeks, this is exactly what has played out as expected. And considering the fact we've not yet confirmed any invalidation signal for this bullish divergence, essentially it's still currently active, which means continue to expect the same type of price action that we've seen over the last 1 to 2 weeks moving forward, at least for now. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the 3-day time frame, for now this larger bearish divergence is still currently active, telling us we should not be expecting any significant bullish momentum towards the upside anytime soon. But of course we can see some short-term bullish price action here and there, so not no bullish price action, just no significant momentum towards the upside. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 8-hour XRP chart, right now the price of XRP is currently retesting, has basically just retested this area of support, sitting in between around $2.24 to $2.30, and so far to pretty much the nearest cent, to the nearest 0.1 of a cent, we've seen a perfect bounce from that $2.30 level, once again acting as support. And so for now, that is the area of support to pay attention to. But if we were to actually see a confirmed break with candle closes below that area, so breaking below roughly $2.24 to $2.30, once again, in that situation, the next significant area of support towards the downside is sitting in between around $1.95 to $2.05. And as for resistance, if we see a bit of a bounce right now from this level, in that case, expect some resistance at around $2.48. wall resistance at around 256, and major resistance in between around 265 to 280. But at least for now, in the short term for the price of XRP, we're simply lacking momentum to either direction. As we can clearly see, the price is basically just bouncing around sideways, seeing short-term bullish moves and short-term bearish moves, but overall not really going anywhere. So that is still the situation, at least for now. We are lacking momentum, remember, bouncing around between support and resistance. So I do continue to expect that at least for a little longer here in the short term. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, as of recording this video, we're now potentially starting to break out above this golden pocket based on previous support, now acting as resistance. And we've just recently, over the last 1 week or so, seeing a couple rejections around this area, and that's sitting in between around 1490 to 1550. But like I just said, as of recording this video, we are attempting a possible breakout above 1550, but we still need to actually confirm the breakout with at least a daily candle close confirming well above 1550, and ideally actually then holding above that area as support. And in that situation, if we can start confirming this breakout here with a candle close, or ideally multiple candle closes once again, in that situation, the next price target for Chainlink, the next major point of resistance, is sitting at roughly around 1750. And so just measuring from the current price, let's just say towards around 1750, that's potentially around a 13% move towards the upside. So also a possible trading opportunity here if we first actually confirm the breakout above 1550. And for now, the bullish divergence on the daily Chainlink chart is still currently active, as I've been saying quite a lot recently here on the channel, telling us we're likely going to see just a slight bullish relief in the short term, or at the very least a bit of choppy sideways price action. So basically no more significant bearish momentum, at least for now in the short term. And if we confirm this breakout above this golden pocket and then perhaps reject from, let's just say, around 1750 to 1760, and then come back to retest the golden pocket, in that situation there's a possible inverse head and shoulders pattern currently forming. And if that continues to form, and then if it ultimately confirms and breaks out above around 1750 to 1760, in that situation, that would be extremely bullish for the price of Chainlink. But obviously, at least for now, we still have a long way to go before potentially confirming that. And remember, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any other crypto, check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that you can only claim using those links. And if you want to actually know how to trade crypto for yourself, no matter what the price is doing, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.